online while carrying out some online activity or transaction. It means the protection of personal information. Personal information means, suppose we are entering our name, father's name, date of birth, and our credit card details. So these all will come in the category of personal information. So the protection of these personal information while we give them online or during some online activity is called privacy. Now second point is, it is related to a company's policy on the use of users' data. It is related to a company's policy on the use of users' data. Privacy is related to a company's policy. Company's policy, that how the company will use the data of users. And third point is that the e-commerce company must clearly state, that how it intends to use the customer's data collected this way. Means the data that we are submitting during any online transaction. So how the company, e-commerce company will use that data, it must be clearly stated by the e-commerce company. For example, such as our users' location, users' buying history, users' preferences, etc. So the e-commerce company will clearly indicate that how the company will use the data which is collected using this manner. Now fourth point is, an important factor of privacy is the user consent. User consent is very important factor, because whenever the consumer is given a choice to decide what information can and cannot be used for, this choice should be given to the consumer, that what information can and cannot be used for. Now, how to safeguard users' privacy? How we can protect the users' privacy? To ensure that the user privacy is not compromised, following measures must be taken. First, the merchant or the seller must clearly state that how the user's data will be used in the terms and condition of its site application. The merchant or the seller must clearly state that how the user data will be used in the terms and conditions of its site. For example, whenever we create any email account or any account on some online shopping sites, then they specify the terms and conditions, that how they will use our data, and after that they can allow us to proceed further. Now the second point is, the merchant or seller must ensure, that the user has gone through the terms and conditions given on its sites or application. It means that the merchant or seller must ensure that when the user has read the terms and condition, then after that any transaction will be allowed. Now the third point is, the merchant must assure the users about data safety by implementing proper data safety measures such as HTTP protocols and other security mechanisms so that the user's data is safe from hackers. It means that if the proper security mechanism is implemented by the seller or the merchant, then the user's data will remain safe. So if the website is using protocols like HTTP and some padlock mechanism, then that site will be considered as secure, and whatever data that is provided by the user, that will be safe. So it will ensure the privacy of the user. Now fourth point is the user must go through the terms and conditions of the seller or merchant site before providing any sensitive information. Sensitive information means that you are providing your personal details, your credit card details. So the user must ensure to go through the terms and conditions, to go through the terms and conditions of the seller, that how they will use that personal data, and make sure that the site is safe site by checking HTTP protocols and padlocks. So this is the safeguard that we can take to maintain the privacy of any user. Now next is online frauds. What is the meaning of online fraud? Fraud committed using the internet. Frauds committed using the internet is called online fraud. Online frauds may occur in many forms. Fraud means that any activity on the internet that is done intentionally to give some loss to the user. So fraud means any activity on the internet is called online fraud. Online frauds may occur in many forms, such as non-delivered goods, existent companies stealing information, and fraudulent payments. Non-delivered goods, it means that we have made the payments for the articles, for them we have given order, but the articles are not delivered. Non-existent companies, it means the company is fake. Third is stealing information, and fourth is fraudulent payments. So the first two types of frauds can be countered by setting up official bodies, ensuring the validity of e-commerce companies, and promised delivery of goods. Means these two frauds can be countered. First two frauds can be countered by setting up official bodies which will ensure the validity of e-commerce companies and promised delivery of goods. The last two types of frauds are more frightening, and it includes credit card frauds and identity theft, etc. Now what are the measures to stop online frauds? What measures we can take? First is a monitoring or official body that ensure the sensitivity of e-commerce company and delivery of goods services as promised. Means a monitoring or official body will be framed that will ensure the sensitivity of e-commerce company and the delivery of goods or services as promised. Second is strong security mechanism by the e-commerce site and payment gateways to prevent stealing of crucial information such as your personal information or bank details, etc. It means the e-commerce site should use some strong security mechanism like HTTPS protocols and payment gateways uh, and padlocks to prevent stealing of crucial information. Third is official guidelines and safeguards on the selling of users' data to the third parties. Official guidelines and safeguards must be issued on the selling of users' data to the third parties. Whenever the company wants to sell the users' data to the third parties, the company must provide the official guidelines and safeguards to the user. Cybercrime. What is cybercrime? Any criminal offense that is facilitated by or involves the use of electronic communication or information system, including any electronic device, computer or the internet, is referred to as the cybercrime. Cybercrime involves the use of electronic devices or information system like computer or the internet is referred as cybercrime. The term cybercrime is a general term that covers crimes like phishing, credit card frauds, illegal downloadings, child pornography, cyberbullying, cyber stalking, cyber terrorism, creation and distribution of viruses, spams and so on. All these things comes in the category of cyber crimes like phishing, credit card frauds, illegal downloading, child pornography, cyberbullying, cyber stalking, cyber terrorism, creation and distribution of viruses, spams and so on. Now phishing. Phishing is a very important term. What is the meaning of phishing? Phishing means it is the criminally fraudulent process of attempting to acquire sensitive information such as username, passwords, credit card information, account data, etc. over the internet by means of deception. In phishing, an imposter uses an authentic looking email or website to trick recipients into giving out sensitive personal information. In phishing, the imposter uses or sends an authentic looking email or website asking to give some sensitive information, some sensitive or personal information of the user. So how to prevent phishing? We can prevent phishing by checking the spelling of the URLs before click. Watch out for URL redirects that send to a different website with identical design. If receive an email from that seems suspicious, contact that source with a new email rather than just hitting reply. Don't post personal data like your birthday, vacation plans or your address or phone number publicly on social media. So these are the preventive measures to prevent phishing. First, always check the spelling of the URLs before click. Whatever URL we are entering, first of all, you check it carefully whether that is legal or not. Second, watch out for the URL redirects that send to a different website with identical design. The site on which the URL is redirecting may be a fake website, so that you properly check whether it is redirecting you to a legal website or not. If receive an email from that seems suspicious, contact that source with a new mail rather than just hitting reply. Don't post personal data like your birthday, vacation plans or your address or phone number publicly on social media. So using these measures we can prevent phishing. Now the second category of cybercrime is illegal downloads. Illegal downloads means that we are obtaining files for which we don't have the right to use or download from the internet. It is downloading a paid digital item. It is downloading a paid digital item without making any payment and using an illegal way to download it. Means if we are downloading anything from the internet illegally, illegally means that we are not having the right to download it and we are not making any payment for that, then it will be considered as illegal download. For example, that you are downloading a movie which is not available for free download, this is illegal download. This will be considered as illegal download. Downloading a copy of the licensed software, if you are downloading a copy of the licensed software bypassing the legal measures, is also illegal download. It means that if you are downloading a licensed software after bypassing the legal measures, is also comes in the category of legal download. A product is protected by copyright law, cannot be downloaded, copied, reproduced or resold without their permission. A product that is protected by copyright law cannot be downloaded, copied, reproduced or resold without their permission. Now this is child pornography. This is also a cybercrime. Child pornography is defined as any visual. It is defined as any visual or written representation. Visual or written representation, including images, movies, or texts that depict or advocate sexual activities, including sexual molestation or exploitation of anyone under the age of 15. It is defined as any visual or written representation, including images, movies, text that depict or advocates sexual activity, including sexual molestation or exploitation of anyone under the age of 18. The law also includes some child nudity, simulated sex involving children, and any material that is computer decorated to look like child porn. Okay, so this is the second point, which is describing that it also includes some child nudity, simulated sex involving children, and any material that is computer decorated to look like child porn. Information Technology Act 2000 and Indian Penal Code 1860 provides protection from child pornography. Information Technology Act 2000 and Indian Penal Code 1860 provides protection from child pornography. According to the new Information Technology Bill, Section 67 has been amended that not only creating and transmitting obscene material in electronic form, but also to browse such site is an offense. New Information Technology Bill, Section 67 has been amended that not only creating and transmitting obscene material in electronic form, but also to browse such site is an offense. So this is about child pornography. Okay, so it covers the topic of privacy and the cyber crimes, different types of cyber crimes, like phishing, illegal downloads, child pornography, cyber stalking, and cyberbullying, etc. Thank you.